Good morning, dear children. Today I have brought you another video lesson on a gift of chapels. What we are going to do today is the exercise session of the story. The exercise part of each lesson is as important as your lesson itself. If you want to enrich the language, you should go through the exercise sessions of each lesson. Along with the exercise session, I am going to give you a complete study of the conditional sentences. The 4 types of conditionals that you have to learn at this age that will help you to develop your language. Now let us go to the video lesson. One more thing, if you don't have watched the explanation part of the lessons, you can subscribe the channel and watch. Let us go. Come to the comprehension check of a gift of CHAPPALS. The very first question is, the music master is making lovely music. Read aloud the sentence in the text that expresses this idea. Go to the text, read it and find out the sentence in which the music master's music is glorified. They are moving on an invisible track. His music flows in the perfect track of the invisible music. That sentence you have to find out. Question number 2. Had the beggar come to Rukumani's house for the first time? Give reasons for your answer. Had he come for the first time? The answer is no. He had visited there for the last 1 week. We get evidence for this from Rukumani's words and the words of the beggar himself. The beggar said that he had been keeping his soul and body together for the last 1 week because of the generosity of the ladies of this house. That you have to write. Then question number 3. A sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. What does it suggest to you about Rukumani's mood? Mood means state of mind. She was in the state of mind of angry and she has lost her temper. She has lost her temper on the children. Working with the text. Complete the following sentences. Ravi compares Lali's playing the violin to the derailing of a train or the train that of the track. Second question. Trying to hide beneath the tray of chilies, Mahendran is the cat here. What he did? He tipped a few chilies over himself, or he knocked a few chilies over himself. That you have to write. Third question. The teacher played a few notes on his violin and Lali. What happened with Lali? Lali stumbled behind him on her violin. Question number 4. The beggar said that the kind ladies of the house were very kind to him. Because of them, he kept his body and soul together for the last 1 week. That he said. Then question number 5. After the lesson was over, the music teacher asked Lali if what? He inquired with Lali if she had seen his CHAPPALS anywhere there. Come to the second question. Describe the music teacher as seen from the window. The music master was an interesting character. He was a bony figure. He had a old-fashioned tuft and a fringe of oily hair circling around his ears. He had a shining gold chain around his neck and a diamond ring on his hand. Then he was wearing a gold bordered dhoti, and with his scrawny toe he was beating the time of music on the floor. Then you can also write about he was sitting just in front of Lally and his back to the window, like that. And in total, he is a fine representative of a countryside music teacher of the olden times. Question number 3. What makes Mridu conclude that the beggar has no money to buy chappals? When Mridu noticed the blisters, the pink colored blisters in his feet, she realized that he had no money to buy chappals. Otherwise, he would buy a pair of chappals. And the additional question for this is, what does she suggest to show her concern? To show her concern, she suggested Ravi to find out whether any old chappals in the house. Question number 4. Have you children? She began, and then seeing they were curiously quiet, went on more slowly. Seen anyone lurking around the veranda? This is a sentence taken from the textbook, and the questions are: first one, what do you think Rukumani really wanted to ask? Actually, she wanted to ask these children whether they had taken away the chappals of the music master, but she didn't complete it. Then, why did she change her question? Because she realized that the children were sitting unusually quiet. So she confirmed that these children would have hidden the chappals. And third question, what did she think had happened? She thought that these children had hidden the chappals of the music master somewhere. They did some prank with the music master, she thought. Then question number 5. On getting Gopu Mama's chappals, the music teacher tried not to look too happy. Why? The music master lost his old chappals, the worn out chappals. Instead of that, he got a new pair. But he couldn't show his happiness because a little time earlier he had said that his chappals were brand new ones. So he did not show any happiness over getting a new pair of chappals. Question number 6. On getting a gift of chappals, the beggar vanished in a minute. Why was he in such a hurry to leave? Because the beggar knew very well that these children gave him the pair of chappals without the knowledge of the elders of the family. If they come to know about it, they would get it back. So he left the scene as quickly as possible. Come to the next page. Question number 7. Look at that. Walking towards the kitchen with Mridu and Meena, Rukumani began to laugh. What made her laugh? Rukumani thought about the scene that was going to happen there. When Gopu Mama came back, and it was custom for him, as immediately as he came, he could remove his shoes and put on the chappals. But on the day, he would search for chappals, and what she would tell him, and what would be his reply. Thinking all this, Rukumani laughed. Now come to the language part, working with language. First question. Read the following sentences. First, if she knows we have a cat, Patty will leave the house. Second statement. She won't be so upset if she knows about the poor beggar with the sores on his feet. Third statement. If the chappals do fit, will you really not mind? You can notice in these three statements the common use of if. If is used in all these three sentences. So such sentences are called conditional sentences. Conditional sentences. Look at that. Notice that each sentence consists of two parts. The first part begins with if. It is known as if clause. So if a sentence starts with if, it is known as conditional sentence, and that part of the sentence is known as if clause. What is a clause? Clause is part of a sentence with subject and predicate. Subject and predicate of its own. That's a clause. Now you understand only this much. I will give you the details later. Rewrite each of the following parts of sentences as a single sentence. Use if at the beginning of the sentence. Look at that. Walk fast, you will catch the bus. This is two sentences. Walk fast is first one, and you will catch the bus, that is the second one. What you are instructed? Combine these two sentences using if at the beginning as a single sentence. Look at the answer here. If you walk fast, you will catch the bus. This is the condition. To catch the bus, the speaker put forward a condition. What is the condition here? If you walk fast, then only you will catch the bus. Look at the second sentence. Don't spit on the road, you will be fined. These two sentences. Look at the first one, don't spit on the road. That is the first statement, and the second statement is you will be fined. We can combine these two statements into a single sentence. Look at that. If you spit on the road, you will be fined. If you spit on the road, you will be fined. So after a comma, the second clause is conjuncted with the first one. Now exercise session. Look at that. Don't tire yourself now. You won't be able to work in the evening. Use if clause or if conjunction or if connector to join these two sentences into a single one. Don't tire yourself now, which means if you tire yourself now, you won't be able to work in the evening. That is the sentence. If you tire yourself now, what will be the result? You won't be able to work in the evening. Look at the second one. Study regularly. That is the first statement, and the second statement is you will do well in the examination. You will do well in the examination. So combine these two statements with if. If you study regularly, you will do well in the examination. So change Study regularly as if you study regularly, put a comma, you will do well in the examination. Come to the third one. Work hard. You will pass the examination in the first division. So how can we combine this one? If you work hard, you will pass the examination in the first division. Look at this sentence. Be polite to people. They will also be polite to you. This you have to give a little attention here. Here, if you are polite to people, comma, they will be polite to you. They will be polite to you. Look at the changes here. B. If you are polite, B is changed into R, and we removed also from the main clause. Note it. If you are polite to people, they will be polite to you. Come to the fifth one. Don't tease the dog. It will bite you. These two sentences. First statement is don't tease the dog. And second statement, it will bite you. That is the condition. So, if you tease the dog, it will bite you. Instead of don't, you write if you. If you tease the dog, it will bite you. That is the condition. The dog does not bite you if you don't do anything. If you tease him, it will bite you. Question number 2. Fill in the blanks in the following paragraph. Today is Sunday. I am wondering whether I should stay at home or go out. If I dash go out, I dash miss the lovely Sunday lunch at home. So the condition is if I go out, I dash miss the lovely. What is the condition? If I go out, I will miss the lovely Sunday lunch at home. Look at the second sentence. If I dash stay for lunch, if I stay for lunch, I dash miss the Sunday film. I will miss the Sunday film showing at Archana Theatre. I think I will go out and see the film only to avoid getting too fat. Come to the third. Complete each sentence below by appropriately using any one of the following. First one, second one, and the third one. If you want to, if you don't want to, if you want him to. Look at the first sentence. Don't go to the theatre if you don't want to. So second. He will post your letter if you want him to. So 3 is the answer here. Please use my pen if you want to. That is the first one. He will lend you his umbrella if you want him to. My neighbor Ramesh will take you to the doctor if you want him to. This is third. Don't eat it if you don't want to. Come to the speaking and writing. Discuss in small group. If you want to give away something of your own to the needy, would it be better to ask your elders first? So this is a topic for discussion. Either you make a group, a pair of groups, or you make a conversation in your notebook using this idea. This is the topic for your conversation. You have to write the conversation. Okay? That is, before you give something to the needy, whether it is necessary to ask to the elders, make a discussion on it. Speaker 1 and speaker 2. What is your opinion about giving something to a needy immediately and nobody was there to ask at home? Will you give it to him or not? And is it right thing to give without the consent of the elders? So many things you can think about it and make a conversation. Come to the second. Is there someone of your age in the family who is very talkative? Do you find him interesting and impressive or otherwise? Share your ideas with others in the group. If somebody at your age in your home or neighborhood who is so talkative and sometimes he is very interesting or she is very interesting, talk about him in the class. What type of talks he used to engage all the time, whether he need any special topic or always he finds topics for himself and talking about it. All these things you have to imagine and write. Then third question, has Rukumani done exactly the same as the children? In your opinion, then is it right for one party to blame the other? What the children and the Rukmani did? Rukmani reminded Ravi that it was not good to give away things of other people. And finally what she did? She also did the same fault. She gave music master the chappals of Gopu Mama. So in a sense, both Rukumani and the children did the same wrong. So you have to think about it. Now read the following. A group of children in your class are going to live in a hostel. They have been asked to choose a person in the group to share a room with. They are asking each other questions to decide who they would like to share a room with. So a sharing room. You have to find a partner, a roommate from your class, because some of you are going to live in a hostel or a room. Ask one another questions about likes, dislikes, preferences, hobbies, personal characteristics. Use the following questions and sentence openings. So some questions and sentence openings are given here. Look at the first one. What do you enjoy doing after school? And the answer you can open with I enjoy doing some drawing, or I enjoy playing cricket in the ground. Anything that you can write. Okay, come to the next page. Second question. What do you like in general? I like anything that is favorable for me regarding food or play or reading books or studying. I like everything. Like that you can make sentences. Then question number 3. Do you play any game? I don't like indoor games. I want to play in the open ground. I like cricket, football, badminton, anything. Then come to the next question. Would you mind if I listen to music after dinner? I would not mind it at all. I am a great lover of music. I want to listen to music. Like that you can say. Will it be alright if I switch off the light after 10 o'clock? Then It's fine with me. I too want to switch off the light when I go to bed, most probably at 10. Then next question. Is there anything you dislike particularly? Well, I don't share my personal things like my shirt, my bedsheet and bed. I don't like to share with anybody. Then question number 7. Do you like to attend parties? Oh, of course. I like very much to participate in parties, especially birthday parties and like that. Then come to the last question of that part. Would you say you are so social with everyone? I think I am so social. I have the skill of making friends. Like that you can write. You can create sentences. Okay. Now we can learn a little bit about that if clause, conditional sentences. There are 4 types of conditional sentences. Four types of conditional sentence. First one is zero conditional. Zero conditional. This zero conditional is used to express scientific truth or facts. For example, you can say that if you heat the water at 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. Look at this sentence. If you heat the water at 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. In both the clauses, this is the if clause and this is the main clause, you can see present simple is used. Present simple plus present simple. So if we use in both the clauses with present simple, it is zero conditional. For scientific truth and facts, to tell scientific truth and facts, we use this zero conditional sentences. Now let us move on to the second one. Second type conditionals. Second type is realistic conditional. Realistic conditionals. Example, if I am the Prime Minister of India, I will eradicate corruption from our life. So look at this sentence. If I am the Prime Minister of India, I will eradicate corruption from our life. So this is a realistic condition, a realistic statement. There is the possibility. This sentence is most probably spoken by a man who contests in an election, and most probability is that he is going to become this. So this type of realistic condition, if I am the Prime Minister of India, I will eradicate the corruption from our life. So in a realistic condition, we use if plus present indefinite or present symbol. Then this is the formal structure we use. If I am the PM of India, I will eradicate corruption from our life. Look at another sentence. If you want to win the race, you will work hard. If you want to win the race, you will work hard. This is the conditional clause. Conditional clause with the if plus present symbol. Then you will work hard. That is simple future. This is the pattern. Okay. Now let us move on to the next type of sentence. Now we come to the third type of conditionals, that is unreal conditional. Unreal conditionals. What is this unreal conditionals? Example, if I were the Prime Minister of India, I would eradicate corruption from our society. Look at this sentence. If I were the Prime Minister of India, I would eradicate corruption from our society. This sentence is not a real sentence, not a real situation. In real situation, we used the same sentence as if I am the Prime Minister of India, I will eradicate corruption from our society. But here it is unreal condition. I am not going to become the Prime Minister of India. So I am not going to eradicate any corruption from our society. So what we can use in the unreal conditions is if plus simple past, simple past tense, then plus subject plus would or could or might plus be one verb. This is the formula. And in simple past, we mostly use were. We don't use was. In past tense, we usually use was with I, but here we use were. If I were the Prime Minister of India, it is not only with I, with all the subjects, like whether it is he, she, it, or they, or we, or you. With all these subjects, we use were in unreal conditionals. It is not going to be happen at any cost. Look at another example. Example number 2. if he were a bird, he would fly very high. This is unreal. It is not a real condition because a human can't become a bird. So if he were a bird, he would fly very high. This is the unreal condition. So in unreal conditions, we use simple past. And in the second part, we use models like would or could or might. Then V1. Look at here, fly, V1 verb. And in the I would eradicate, here also V1 verb. Now let us go to the last and the fourth. The fourth type is past conditional. Past conditionals. It's a type of unreal situation. Let us take one example from the text. If Rukumani had seen the blisters in the beggar's feet, she would not have rebuked the children. Look at this sentence. If Rukumani had seen the blisters in the beggar's feet, she would not have rebuked the children. So, this is not what happened there. This is an unrealistic condition we are supposing. If she had seen it, if she had seen the injured feet of the beggars, then she would not have rebuked the children. So, it was not happened like that there. She did not see it and she rebuked the children. So, in the past conditionals also, mostly we use to express unrealistic conditions. So let us check the pattern of this. If plus past perfect plus the rest of the sentence, and in the second part, in the main clause, subject plus would or should or could plus have plus V3. Third form of the verb. This is the pattern of past conditionals. Past conditionals. Another example. Take another example. If the rain had not come, we would have completed the match. we would have completed the match. If the rain had not come, had plus come is past perfect tense, and if past perfect comes with if clause, we can use would plus have plus V3 in the. Another important rule that you have to remember always is don't use any models with if clause. Don't use models with if clause. This is a very important rule you have to remember. What are the models? Models will, shall, would, could, might, should. All the models that we used in these sentences, you can check again. Never we use the models with the if clause. If you use models in the if clause, that sentence is wrong. Okay, so always use models with the main clause, not with the subordinate clause or the if clause. That is a very important lesson you have to remember. With this, we can conclude the lesson, a gift of chappals. What you have to do now is make different sentences of these 4 types of conditional sentences: 0 conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and fourth conditionals, and submit your teacher. Okay.